Hello, and thanks for joining me for NCIA's weekly episode of NCIA Today. I'm your host, Bethany Moore, NCIA's Deputy Director of Communications, checking in with you every Friday with updates on what's happening in the cannabis industry and here at NCIA. Many of you have noticed by now that this year, NCIA retooled our membership packages in order to meet the needs of our growing association and industry. We've added or expanded some important member benefits, ranging from networking opportunities to education and business data to policy leadership, in order to help you and your business reach your full potential. Plus, each membership tier has its own really beautifully designed logo too. So go take a look at the cannabisindustry.org/join and learn more about our new membership packages: Evergreen, Blooming, and Seedling. In the meantime, let's check in with our Director of Media Relations, Morgan Fox, to hear more about what's happening in cannabis policy reform at the state level. Hey, Morgan, thanks for checking in with me today. How's the start to your summer going?
Well, it is hot AF in DC, but really summer starts here around March or so. So I can't really complain too much. I'm kind of used to it at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah, here in Denver, we started summer a little early. We've had a few 100-degree days already, so I guess it's going to be a hot one. But let's start by talking about some of the movement at the state level that we've been watching these last few weeks. What big moves did we see recently?
Well, I think the biggest news is that Connecticut just signed into law an adult use bill that uh, I think makes Connecticut the 19th state, or maybe the 18th, depending on what happens with South Dakota's Supreme Court. But it's still a fantastic move. It's thousands of people that are not going to get arrested for cannabis anymore, and a lot of business opportunities for people in the legal market. Connecticut's program has a significant number of outlays for social equity applicants that are, is going to be really creating a lot of opportunity for disenfranchised communities and people that have been more heavily victimized by the war on drugs. And it was a very contentious debate, and luckily the advocates won out, as they are increasingly doing at the state level. Just hope we can see that same sort of progress in Congress.
Yeah, absolutely. I love seeing those smaller states in the Northeast part of the country start to turn green on our state policy map on our website. And of course, that also means there's that many more representatives and senators in Congress that are representing legal cannabis states. So, speaking of Congress, let's chat about what's happening at the macro level in federal government. What's the likelihood that we'll see more movement on federal cannabis policy reform?
Well, we're starting to see a little bit of a creep towards making progress on some of these both incremental and comprehensive bills. I mean, as you know, the MORE Act was reintroduced in the House last month, and we're still waiting on seeing the introduction in the Senate of Chuck Schumer's comprehensive descheduling bill. In the meantime, we're starting to get some statements from key players in the Senate that maybe we could see some movement on the Safe Banking Act over the next couple of months, either before or after the comprehensive descheduling bill is passed. We're also seeing movement on a number of incremental measures related to insurance, related to VA access, related to research, and related to appropriations issues in particular, which admittedly are only temporary, but will mean that hopefully the District of Columbia, where we're located here, will finally be able to regulate cannabis legally without congressional interference, which would be wonderful.
Yeah, and not a second too soon either. Yeah, DC hopefully can get a move on there.
Yeah, I mean, we passed legalization in 2014 here with something like 70% of support from voters. and we have not been able to regulate that substance whatsoever, which means there are no legal sales outside of a medical paradigm. And it's hugely problematic and really setting back a lot of entrepreneurs who have been just waiting in the wings for this legislation to pass.
Absolutely. Sorry about that taxation without representation going on there. All right. Well, great. Thank you so much for checking in with me this week, Morgan, and stay hydrated this summer.
Will do.
All right. I know it's now officially summertime as we celebrated the summer solstice last weekend, so I'll try to keep this short and sweet. If you haven't had the chance yet, be sure to download our newest policy paper titled The Medicine of Cannabis, an overview for medical professionals and policymakers. The existing legal environment significantly hinders the ability of clinicians to engage with cannabis research or offer clear guidance. Download the report today at thecannabisindustry.org/reports. If you're a member of NCIA and you'd like to learn more about submitting educational blogs for our readers or being a guest on our weekly podcast, please send me an email at bethany@thecannabisindustry.org to get the ball rolling. Remember to subscribe and tune in to both of our weekly podcasts, including our newest effort called NCIA's Cannabis Minority Report. Check out the episodes on NCIA's website with host Khadijah Adams. You can also catch it live on NCIA's Facebook page every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And be sure to subscribe to NCIA's Cannabis Industry Voice weekly podcast, which has been in the top 50 U.S. business news category on Apple Podcasts since early 2020. If you're not tuning in every week, now's a good time to get caught up. All right, let's wrap up this week's show with some reminders. We're working hard behind the scenes on all the details of our upcoming in-person trade shows this fall. Mark your calendars now for the Midwest Cannabis Business Conference on September 22nd and 23rd in Detroit, and the Eastern Cannabis Business Conference on December 7th and 8th in Baltimore, plus our 7th Annual Cannabis Business Summit and Expo, December 15th through 17th in San Francisco. Reach out now to learn more about opportunities to secure your booth on the expo floor, and I'm happy to announce that registration to the Midwest event in Detroit is now open with special limited time super early bird pricing on tickets available. So head to www.midwestcannabisbusinessconference.com today. In the meantime, you can stay connected and inspired this summer with NCIA's weekly webinar series, which keeps you up to date on best practices and regulatory issues. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram to stay inspired and connected. If you're a member of NCIA, log into NCIA Connect and spark up a conversation with your fellow NCIA members and colleagues today. I'll see you next week.
Hi, my name is Monica Gray.
Kimberly Cargile.
My name is Sharon Data G.
Even though I've been a member of the National Cannabis Industry Association for the last decade, this year I moved up my support and my membership to the Evergreen tier.
With the help of NCIA and being an Evergreen member, we believe that we could push this agenda forward.
Banking's always been my number one issue. Payment processing has always been a huge issue, cash payments. But now that the cell phone companies are getting involved,
we need to make sure that we get minorities and African Americans, people that have been affected by the war on drugs, indigenous people, brown and black people holistically needs to be a part of this conversation.
It is so amazing to have a group like NCIA that has my back. Let's get you in front of these senators that don't know what it's like.
And as the best of the best, and we want to make sure we have a voice as cannabis legalization is moving forward.
Government relations and advocacy directly affect the bottom line.
really getting to the table as a small business member to making sure that the small business member, small business owner gets a voice at this policy table.
Part ensuring a smooth transition into federal legalization and regulation for our legacy industry here in California.
Realizing that no one's going to fight for you like you can fight for yourself, I decided to take NCIA's support in joining this tier of focusing on policy.
We need to come together and push for this agenda.
It is critical that our industry steps up and engages.
We need to make sure that our voices are heard.
We have the support of NCIA by joining the Evergreen tier as our lobbying firm for us, the little people.
Cannabis business owners, entrepreneurs that really see the bigger picture to say, let's push this agenda forward. We can't do this without you.
It is so difficult to run a business and be a small business owner in this space, in this cannabis space.
I encourage you to join me and become an Evergreen member today.
We need your help.
Join the Evergreen tier and fight